Hi guys, welcome back to Intellectual Literature. This is Gauri. We already discussed research methodology PYQs 1 to 40 in previous videos. If you have not watched that video yet, please go and watch that first and come back to this video. In this video, we are going to discuss 41 to 50 PYQs, research methodology PYQs. This PYQ analysis is definitely helpful to you your upcoming UGC NET exams. Okay, let's go to the 41st question. Which of the following are the key attributes and skills required in the context of tools and techniques for literary research? Your options are having an overview of the main online and printed sources relevant to the research, not participating in any online information networks as others may copy the work, getting to know a range of available online sources and being able to evaluate these sources comparatively, using online and printed sources to identify and locate material archives, peer management technique. Your time starts now. I will give 10 seconds time. And the answer is option C. A, C and D are only the correct answers. These are true attributes and skills needed for effective literary research. Why option A, C, D are correct? Now discuss. Having an overview of the main online and printed sources relevant to the research. This is a core research skill. A researcher must know where relevant information exists. Option C, getting to know a range of available online sources and being able to evaluate these sources comparatively. Evaluating credibility, relevance and reliability of sources is essential, especially important in digital research environments. Using online and printed sources to identify and locate material archives. Locating manuscripts, archives, database and repositories is a key technique in literary research. And we also discuss why other options are wrong. Option B, not participating in any online information networks as the others may copy the work is a false statement. This is not a research skill, and engaging in online networks is generally encouraged for sharing knowledge and resources despite potential risk. Academic research encourages collaboration, sharing and scholarly networking. Fear of copying is handled through proper citation, not isolation. Option E, peer management. Peer management technique is not specifically a key skill related to literary research tools and techniques. This belongs to management or organizational studies. Literary research focuses on sources, methods and evaluation, not management skills. So, the correct answer is A, C and D only, not B and E. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is meant by corporate author in research? Your options are a writer who belongs to a corporate company, a writer who writes on matters of corporate affairs, a work produced by an institution, an association or a government agency, a renowned author. Your time starts now. Option C is the correct answer. Why other options are wrong? A writer who belongs to a corporate company? No. A writer who writes on matters of corporate office? No. A renowned author? No. A work produced by an institution, an association or a government agency, that is the correct answer. Now we see the explanation. In research, a corporate author refers to an organization, institution, association or government agency that is responsible for creating a work rather than an individual person. For examples, reports or publications produced by entities like the World Health Organization or the United Nations, UNESCO, Government of India, UGC, it would be considered works by a corporate author. Okay. Now move on to the next question. Who among the following was the major advocate of oral history? Options are Sylvia Plath, Esther Greenwood, Paul Thompson, Caroline Steedman. Your time starts now. And the correct answer is option C, Paul Thompson. He is widely regarded as one of the pioneers of oral history as a research methodology. He founded the Oral History Society in 1973. This book full name was The Voice of the Past Oral History and has been a significant advocate for the collection and preservation of oral histories. He authored the influential which established oral history as a serious research method. Now see why the other options are wrong. Sylvia Plath, she is a poet and novelist not associated with oral history. Esther Greenwood, a fictional character from the Belgium. Caroline Steedman, a cultural historian but not a major advocate of oral history in the foundational sense asked in exams. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 44th question. Which of the following statements are true about ethnographic research method? Your options are: it enables the exploration of the conception of literature within defined social and historical settings. Janice A. Radway's Reading the Romance 1984 is one of the first examples of the use of ethnographic research methodology. It is perceived as an act of uncovering an objective reality. Reading National Geographic 1993 by Catherine A. Lutz and Jane L. Collins makes effective use of ethnographic research method to find out the role of the magazine National Geographic in molding American awareness of the world beyond the United States. Option A is it focuses more on objective data than subjective interpretation of the materials. Your time starts now. And D is the correct answer. A, B, C and D only are the correct answer. Now we see the explanation. Ethnographic research can explore how literature is consumed and understood within specific social and historical context. It focusing on the practice and meanings that communities attach to literary works. Janice Radway's Reading the Romance, it is a seminal work that employed ethnographic methods to study how women read and interpret romance novels, making it a key example in literary studies. Ethnographic research often seeks to understand cultural practice from the perspective of participants and in traditional anthropology, it was sometimes seen as a way to uncover an objective reality. However, more contemporary approaches recognize the influence of the researcher's perspective. This work utilized ethnographic methods to analyze how national geographics shaped American perceptions of other cultures. Ethnographic research typically involves a significant amount of subjective interpretation as it focuses on understanding the meanings and practice within specific cultural context. Now we see detailed statement wise why the options are correct. Why these options are correct. First option, it enables the exploration of the conception of literature within defined social and historical settings. Ethnographic studies, reading, practice, audience and cultural context. This is a core feature of literary ethnography. Option B, James A. Radway's Reading the Romance 1984 is one of the first examples of the ethnographic research methodology. This is a classic and standard example in research method syllabus. Radway studied women readers and their reading habits ethnographically. It is perceived as an act of uncovering an objective reality. Ethnographic research traditionally aims to understand social reality through close observation and fieldwork. In exam framing, it is described as attempting to uncover social reality. Option D, Reading National Geographic 1993 by Catherine A. Lutz and Jane L. Collins uses ethnographic research to study how the magazine shapes American worldviews. This is another well-known ethnographic study in cultural and literary research. Why option E is wrong? It focuses more on objective data than subjective interpretation of materials. Ethnography gives significant importance to subjective interpretation, lived experience and participant perspectives. It is not purely objective or data driven. Ethnography means culture plus readers plus lived experience plus context, not just raw data. That is ethnography. Ethnography means cultural readings. Okay, move on to the next question. Which of the following is not a method of data analysis? Look at the keyword. They mentioned not. Okay, your options are qualitative method, quantitative method, mixed method, subjective method. Your time starts now. The correct answer is subjective method. Subjective method is not the recognized method of data analysis, while subjective perspectives can influence interpretations in qualitative research. There is no formal subjective method of analysis. Now we see why other options are correct. Qualitative method is a method of data analysis that involves non-numeric data because it is quality, such as interviews, observations and textual analysis, focusing on understanding concepts, experience or social context. Quantitative method. This involves the analysis of numerical data using statistical tools to find patterns, averages or correlations. Mixed method. A combination of both qualitative and quantitative methods, it allowing for a more comprehensive analysis by integrating numerical data with in-depth insights. Okay, let's move on to the next question. 46th question. Given below it is a statement wise question. Statement 1. And research being original and rare for a researcher to begin a project by deriving ideas predecessors. That is statement 1. Statement 2. Studying and documenting past work on a research topic stifles the continual expansion of human knowledge. Your time starts now. The correct answer is option B. Both statement are incorrect. Why incorrect? We see the explanation. Research is often built upon previous work and deriving ideas from predecessors. It is a fundamental aspect of the research process. Originality in research does not exclude the influence of previous studies. Rather, it often involves engaging with and expanding upon them. Studying and documenting past work is essential for the growth of human knowledge. It helps researchers to build on existing theories, identify gaps and avoid redundancy, thus fostering intellectual growth and innovation rather than stifling it. Let's move on to the next question. Your 47th question. The MLA style sheet and compilation of scholarly conventions and directives was first published in. It is easy question and frequently asked question. You must know about MLA style. Okay, your time starts now. The correct answer is option A, 1951. The MLA style sheet is a set of guidelines established by the Modern Language Association for writing and citing sources in academic papers, particularly in the humanities. The MLA style sheet, which laid down scholarly conventions and documentation practice, was first published in 1951. It later evolved into what we now know as the MLA Handbook. Easy tips. MLA began 1951, early post-independence academic standardization era. Now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following abbreviations refer to a documentation style? Your options are Arial, MHRA, MES, PMLA. Your time starts now. The correct answer is MHRA, Modern Humanities Research Association. This is a documentation style commonly used in the humanities, particularly in literature, cultural studies and history. It provides guidelines for referencing and citation in academic writing. A documentation or referring style used in humanities. And also we see why other options are wrong. Arial means automated retrieval of information by electronic linking. A system used for electronic documentation, document transmission, not a documentation style. MES means Modern English Studies. It refers to a field or area of study, not a documentation style. PMLA, Publications of the Modern Language Association. It refers to the MLA documentation style commonly used in literary research. Let's move on to the next question. 49th question. Which two of the following conform to the style prescribed by the 8th edition of the MLA Handbook? Your time starts now. The correct answer is option C, B and C only the correct. That is the correct style prescribed by the 8th edition. In the 8th edition of the MLA Handbook, the documentation style emphasizes specific formatting for authors' names, titles and publication information, including consistency in punctuation and the use of abbreviations. Let's move on to the next question. Our last question. 50th question. This is a assertion and reason question. Research methods are a range of tools that are used for different types of inquiry. Our reason is the tools used in research are products of the situation in which they are applied. Your time starts now. And the correct answer is option A. Both A and or are true, and or is the correct explanation of A. Why that is true? Research methods indeed consist of a range of tools used for different types of inquiry. Research tools are shaped by the situations and context in which they are applied, because different research situations and inquiries demand different tools. Research methods necessarily become a range of tools. So, or explains why research methods vary, which is exactly what A states. We wind up this session, and remaining questions 51 to 63 questions we are going to discuss in next video. So stay tuned. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and share your comments, share your thoughts in comment section. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. This is Gauri from Intellectual Literature. Thank you. Bye bye.